Namaste. Got a special episode in store for you today as a change of pace since we've been caving a lot and dealing with the stronghold a lot. Rather than zipping right off to the next stronghold, I thought I would give you a tour of what the base looks like now. It's been a while since we've been back together, and made some changes here over the times when I came back, and so I think you may not have seen, I've got burgeoning supplies now. So I've got 3 chests, one with a bunch of primary stuff including foods and tools and some other items I've grabbed. This guy's all mob drops, including a wither skeleton skull that we got on the Nether trip. And this is some building materials and valuables. And these are a little clue about something that's coming up a little later in the episode. So that's done. All the rest of this is not new to you. The iron doors are salvaged from the stronghold, so I put those in here. Let's go out the back door, because I want to show you that I also explored this cave. So out that leads out to the beach, and this led down, and this was all dark before when you last saw it. And I just wanted to show you that I went down here, and this tunnel that ends here. Might be worth at some point using some TNT to try to deepen that tunnel, because I keep getting cavern sounds when I'm running around outside on our island here. So at some point maybe we'll do that when we want to have some TNT fun. Okay, the next changes I had were out here, and some of them are visible here. I lit up a little bit more of that. I haven't done that little point here, but the sugarcane farm is still here. And over here, you may remember I had a little wheat farm going, and was growing some melons, or maybe carrots when you saw it were here, and had melons here. Anyway, I've torn all that out and moved the farm. The little sapling that would never grow was here. I finally did get it to grow. I had to use quite a bit of bone meal on it in order to accomplish that. But you can see I've moved the wheat farm and expanded it. So we've got a 9x9 square with a water square in the middle, and it's got a lily pad in the middle to keep the wheat and seeds from falling down in. And if I peek over here, I can show you how much of how the island is much more lit. So I've lit all around there, and I went up on top of here because while I was setting this up and trying to grow the wheat and get enough seeds to fill that in, I kept getting mobs dropping down here and coming in, creepers blowing it up, and I replanted probably 4 or 5 times different parts of it from creepers. So I got tired of that. Oh, there's one there. Arrows are no longer a problem, because you can hear I've got a chicken farm going here. Oops. That's no reason to just waste it like that, though. So I've apparently got a dark spot up there that I need to take care of, because that guy spawned up there. So let's take care of this real quick. We'll just pillar up here on some dirt and figure out where the dark spot is. Now I'm looking at the line, the second from the end, the penultimate line there that starts with LC95, B Forest, BL11. So BL is blocklight. So I'm looking for blocklight to drop below 7, because that's the point at which mobs will spawn. This is all lit, so maybe he crept over from somewhere else, because I've got all this pretty well lit. Just like I thought I had. So he may have spawned down in here somewhere. See, this is block light 6 and 5. So let's just drop a torch in here. Found another little dark spot there. And who knows, maybe he spawned there and crept over here. Okay, so that done. Let's come back down and continue the tour. this. Okay. So I've got this little chicken farm going here. Well, it's actually quite populous chicken farm now. That I laboriously collected eggs and smashed them in there and fed them seeds and all that kind of thing to get them going there. And got it, as I said, quite populous. And I've got a gate system here. I need to move that gate over here, so there's a little airlock here, if you will, that if they get out that gate, they still can't get out this one and get wild. So this was quite a pain to get because there were no chickens. You remember we built this fenced-in area and there were no chickens around. Let me move away from these guys because they're kind of loud. Even though I have my friendly animals sound turned down. Anyway, those guys were not nearby, and we tried breaking some eggs and didn't get them. So I took one of the slime balls that we had gotten and some string and built some leads and went out around this island and found a couple chickens out there and pulled one at a time behind a boat. It was quite fun having a little chicken water skiing. Maybe I'll show you that sometime, or you can try it yourself. It's quite fun. And basically dragged two of them back here, and all these chickens are descended from those too. So the other thing that I want to do today is I'm tired of collecting chicken eggs and feeding them wheat and all that kind of stuff. So I want to put in an automated egg collector, and so all we'll have to do is go grab them out of a chest and then break the eggs to populate the chickens, and then we can slay them at will. So I've dug out this area underneath the chicken coop. So since I had the coop there already, I didn't want to dig down from above and drop the rails in. So I'm going to do it from below. So all these things right here, these 9 items, are the things we'll need in order to put in this automated system. So we're going to have the rails come up here. So I'm just going to drop rail. Actually, you know what? I think I want that to be powered rail there. So let's go up here and let's just start in this corner over here, because I know I want straight rail that comes over here. So we're gonna... So I dug down too deep, of course, because I needed to be able to get back into these corners. Now I'm just gonna lay the dirt in. And so the direction that this track goes is important, because that is west and this is south, and we're going to have this track go out and then serpentine back here and tee into the track here. And the direction is important because of one of the mechanisms in Minecraft, where if a minecart hits a track that tees into one that doesn't connect as a curve, then it tries to go south and west, which is that direction. So it'll go the way that we want it to go, at least theoretically. So I'm going to drop these tracks in here. You can see it's going to come here and then curve back over. And since this track is already laid straight, it won't intersect there. It's just going to curve. So part of this trick is making sure you've got enough of the earth laid out ahead of time so that you don't have to... so you don't have that kind of thing happening. See, I didn't have dirt in the right... I didn't have this track extending far enough, so it didn't understand what I was trying to accomplish there. So let's get this back, and let's put that there, and we should be able to reach all the rest of this. Oh, no. Not right. See, this is a pain, but it's actually good that you get to see it. So let's just make... Okay, I get the message. I have to get rid of you. Okay. Let's try again. I'm going to put this straight track all the way to here. And let's actually put our power rail in here. 1, 2, 3, power rail. And then I'm going to power the power rail. Speaking of the cavern sound, there it is right there. So I'm going to put that redstone torch there to power those power rails. because we're going to have a little incline up this way, and we're going to need the power rails to give the minecart power to get up, and we also need power to go through all these crazy tracks that we have here. So I'm going to continue laying these tracks. Let's see if I can reach these. Once I lay that one, can I reach that? No, I can't. Let's sneak in here real quick. I want to make sure I don't lay that one until this is done. And I don't want to pour water. Okay, so I've got power rail, and then the track goes straight and winds back and forth here. You know what? I'm going to change the sound because these chickens are just too darn loud. Let's turn that way down. Okay, that's better. All right, and I'm going to leave this block out because I want to be able to stand in here to show you the minecart moving around. Okay, so we have everything underground there done. And now we're going to need our system up here. So let's lay this part out. So we're going to want the chest that the eggs go into to be here. So they'll just, the top will just be exposed, and I'll be able to open it up and collect the eggs. And we're going to need a hopper feeding into the chests. So we'll put that here. Now I'm just pressing shift and clicking on the end of the side of the chest so you can see the hopper connects in. I apologize if you already know how to do this. So bear with me or skip ahead. But if you don't, I thought it might be valuable for you to see in detail how to build this. Okay, and then we're going to put a power rail on top of this. So on top of the hopper, I'm going to press shift again and click on top with the power rail in hand. And then I can connect this part with a rail and this part with a rail. So we have it going down and across. Okay, now here's how this is going to work at this stage. The minecart is going to come back. So assuming it's already in motion, it goes through and collects all the eggs, because a hopper minecart will grab things that are sitting on top of the block that's above it. So any eggs that are, or chicken corpses or feathers that drop in there will absorb through this block and into the minecart. They'll just be sucked down. And the minecart will come back up this hill and up onto this powered rail that's above the hopper. And if the hopper minecart has any eggs in it or other items, then they will drop into this hopper, and from the hopper they'll go into the chest. So what we want to do is we want this powered rail to be unpowered like it is right now if there are items in the hopper minecart that need to unload. So we're going to put in a system that detects that. So we're going to start with a detector, a comparator, and we want the output to face away from the hopper. So I'm going to lay it that way. So I went to the side and laid it that way. So you can see the output is the side with one redstone torch on it, and the others are on the input side. So this detects whether there are items in this hopper, and if it is, it's going to put out a signal. So if we just ran that redstone back up here, it would actually do the opposite of what we want. It would power, so this would be powered when there's something in here, and we want it to be off when there's something in there. So if we connected this back up, it would power the powered rail when there was something in, which would send the minecart away. We want it to do the opposite. So we're going to invert the signal by putting a redstone torch on the side of this sand block. So you can see that we got the redstone up to here now. Now we need to put a redstone repeater up here. I think I have that faced the right direction. And then if we put a block on top of this redstone torch, it'll connect that circuit. So the way I'm going to do that is, you see how the redstone torch has the black outlines on it. So that means I can select on that. So I'm going to press shift again and then click a block on top of there. And you can see how this redstone repeater just lit up. So when there's no signal coming out of the hopper, meaning there's nothing in it, there'll be power that goes across and through, and then we'll connect it back to here with another block like so. So I'm going again, shift click on top of this comparator to put a block on top. And you can see when there's nothing in the hopper, the signal comes out of here with power. This inverts it. No. This is unpowered. When there's nothing in there, this is unpowered. So this torch inverts it and sends the power up through this repeater to the power rail. So the power rail is lit when this hopper is empty. If there's something goes in this hopper, the comparator will detect that and put out power, which will invert and turn to no power up here through to the power rail. So I hope that was clear. Anyway, I think we have everything in place except for the minecart, hopper minecart. You can see there are a lot of eggs here on the ground inside there, and we're going to place this minecart down on top of here, and it should take off right away. And you can see it's cruising around underneath there, and when it hits here, it's going to tee into this guy and zoom back up, and it's going to pause there, and you can see here that there's an egg in there, and there'll be an egg in there until it gets done putting eggs in here. So you can see here this count is going up as it unloaded eggs. So it just finished and took off again. And you can see it's cruising back around. And it's okay that it goes slow there at the end because this doesn't need to be super fast. I could always put another piece of power rail in there if I really wanted it to go zooming along this circuit faster. And then you can see in here it's collected all the eggs and other drops if there had been any. So one of the important things to get about this is you'll notice that this rail goes underneath the fence because sometimes the eggs get right under there, and some of them, even with that, they'll pop outside like that one, and so there's a tiny little bit of waste. You could run the tracks underground completely outside of this if you wanted to eliminate those, but I liked my little 5x5 fenced area. So now that that's going, we can close this back off, and I'm going to close that, and we're going to put this down, and I'm just going to fill this with sand, and this will cover the side of. And there we go. Voila, we have an automated egg collector system. So when I want to get chickens, either for meat or feathers, I can just grab some eggs and we'll go in here and kill chickens. Actually, let's drop some eggs and see how many babies we get, because then we'll always replace our population. Should have grabbed more eggs. Okay, so we got one chick, so that means one of these guys can die. How about you, the one that's running around crazy because I hit you with an egg? Let's do this for a second. Let's move this. I can always kill a bunch of chickens if necessary, because they're trying to escape. Any escapees are immediately killed. Okay, back in there. Get back in there. I lost my fence. Picked up an egg, but I lost my fence. Oh, you know what? The minecart picked it up. Oh, no, the minecart didn't pick it up. I thought for sure the minecart picked it up. Alright, you guys get back in there. Or gals. Come on, gals, get back in there. There we go. You die. Okay. So let's grab eggs. So I have quite a few eggs to drop in here. And we actually don't even need to go in here to do this. We could just go, you know what, 1, 2, 3, you're dead. Clear a space so that I can drop eggs. So we got 2 chicks, 2 chicks, 3, 4, 5. And it doesn't really matter how many. If you want to keep a constant number of chickens in there. Now, one of the things you got to do, I got a quad there and they exploded all out here. One of the things you don't want is little guys running around outside, because if they get in your minecart track, then all hell breaks loose, and it'll stop the cart, and then you got to dig down there and straighten everything out again. So we should see now, if we look in here, we've got chicken parts and eggs. As those got collected. So I didn't actually need to go in here to deal with the chickens. But I have the gates there in case I want to. So there you have it. We're not going to have any problem, as I said, with having arrows anymore. We'll have arrows there, and we'll have chicken meat, so I can stop growing watermelon for food. I've got more than a couple stacks of watermelon here, and it's it doesn't have a high satiation value, so it's actually not a really good crop unless you're doing potion kinds of things with it. And here's another problem with the darn little chickens getting out is I got to make sure I don't stand on that side when I throw them, because if they fly out and land, that little tiny chick landing on the crops will destroy the cropland. As ridiculous as that sounds, that is the case. So let's go back out here and finish this. We're already hungry because watermelon's not that satisfying. Let's fix this spot. And collect this. So I think what's in store next is it's time to go find the next stronghold. And I thought what I would do is, since we've already experienced that together with the first stronghold, I won't bore you with the launching of ender pearls and sailing that will inevitably be involved here. So I thought I would search for it off camera, at least until I hit land, make landfall. Once I make landfall, maybe I'll come back. Boy, there is a cave not far underground here because I keep hearing mobs when there are no mobs around. I've tried digging around just through the dirt here and not tunneling through stone to see if I could find them, and I have not been able to. So here's one of those darn random eggs. Let's just throw that in the box here. So the other thing that we could do, we could put a switch on this to be able to stop it running if we don't want it running for some reason. Like we get too many eggs. So maybe I'll do that in the future here. We'll just have to make a sticky pistons, because if we can stop it anytime we want, of course, by smashing the hopper minecart or simply removing this block here. So like so. So if I take that block out, then that stops that inverter, so this is not powered anymore. So the hopper minecart stops. So you know what? While we're at it, let's just put the switch in. What the heck? And that'll take us to the end of the episode, and then I'll go start the search for the stronghold. And when I find it, or find land, I should say, I will come back to you. Okay, actually, you know what? I want to keep these full stacks. And I'm going to make bread with those, because I think I'm going to take bread on this journey this time for the trip to find the stronghold. Okay, so I've got the planks that I need. I'm going to need to make a... Oops, not that. I need a slime ball. And actually I need another block, another wood block or some other block to put on the end of the piston. So I'm going to need another wood block or something, because I need 3 to make the piston. I'm also going to need a piece of redstone. So, and then I need something to use as a switch. So we're going to make, we'll do that. We'll make a lever. And the, let's see, the piston is like this, I think. No. What did I get wrong? Oh, iron in the middle, redstone at the bottom. That's right. So I need to grab a piece of iron. And I need an extra to bring on the trip anyway, just in case I needed to rebuild any items before I find iron. Okay, so then it's cobble on the sides, 3 planks across the top is a piston. Put slime ball on it and you get a sticky piston. Okay, so I think now we have everything we need to put an on-off switch out here. So we're going to want to put the block that we're going to push here. And then we want the sticky piston going the other way. So I need to set down a block for a second. Just use dirt. So I need to point to where I want the bottom of this, bottom of the sticky piston to be. So the bottom is over here. And it will push this block out. I don't think I can put a lever right on the back of the sticky piston, but I can put it like on the ground right here. And so when we switch it, that extends this, which allows the power redstone circuit to complete. It allows the power to flow back up in here and turns it back on. And now it's emptying again. It emptied. And then anytime we want to turn off this collection system, we just have to flip that lever. It'll pull that back. And the cart will stop there. The hopper minecart will stop. And when we want to start it back up again, we just send her out to go collect eggs. That way, if our double chest gets full or something, we can deal with that. We could also make our collection system bigger to go into more chests, but I don't really think we need... Really, I don't need more than 1 chest, but I always like to put down 2. And since there's space in this circuit, that's a cool thing. So, this system is complete. We can turn it on and off. We can collect eggs all day long. And as I said, I think I'm going to end the episode here. I'm going to set sail. Let's get started this way. Here, let me tell you. You're just getting started by telling you that, if you recall, I put down these markers when we first launched an Eye of Ender. So I stood on this block and I launched it, and it went that direction. So I put the 2 blocks with the one on top. And so if you look at the map, you can see the pointers pointing in the direction of the stronghold that we located and cleared. And so my thought was, I'm going to head the opposite direction, which is that way, and then head out that way for a piece, maybe until I find land, and then I'll launch an ender pearl that way. So I will see you in the next episode when I've found land, or maybe gone far enough that I've discovered that the stronghold must be underwater or something like that, and I'm ready to launch ender pearls. So until then, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking the video, and I'll see you then. Namaste.